In last week's Wagoneer Wednesday video, I talked to you a little bit about the worst way you can install a quarter patch panel on a classic Grand Wagoneer. Plus, the reason why I'm redoing this patch panel. That video is linked below. Please check it out. In this week's video, let's keep the ball rolling with the quarter panel project and do a little show and tell. How I was able to cut off the old quarter panel and the steps I took to prep the metal and prep the new panel to be installed. You know, each time I work on this old 1986 Jeep Grand Wagoneer project, there's always something to be learned. And every time that you watch one of these videos, I trust that you're going to gain some knowledge with me in the process. If you're new around here, make sure you subscribe for Wagoneer Wednesdays at 7 p.m. and follow this 1986 Jeep Grand Wagoneer project. I've got a long road ahead of me, so make sure you like the video and subscribe. Now, let's get into this. Before I can get out the big boy tools and start cutting away at the old quarter panel, my first priority was to grab my new quarter patch panel and position it on the Wagoneer. My goal is to find its new spot where exactly I'd like it to be installed. I first placed the bottom of the patch panel on the rear bottom corner of the Jeep, then worked my way towards the rear door, making sure the panel sits flat from the taillight area up top all the way over to the door. Once I confirmed the panel was nice and snug all the way around, I traced the top of my new panel on the Jeep with a marker. I then went down the back side with a marker, marking exactly where I wanted this panel to lay. Next, it was time to address a few imperfections in the quarter patch panel. I originally ordered this panel from millsupply.com for $68.95, which is a pretty good deal. The first one I received came in damaged with a few dents. Luckily, with no hassle whatsoever, Mill Supply was happy to send out a replacement panel at no extra cost. The second one I received, unfortunately, had one small dent. Without any question or hassle, Mill Supply quickly offered a full refund. Although my parts came in slightly damaged, nothing major at all. Millsupply.com was great to work with, and I would work with them again. So here's that one dent that I was talking about. Rather than installing the panel on the Jeep and then addressing the dent, that wouldn't really make much sense. It would make more sense to focus on it now, before the panel is installed on the Jeep. Because I have some great access by flipping that panel over and pushing that dent forward and out. I grabbed my dolly blocks and hammers and got to work with my panel on a part stand. To fix the dent in the quarter patch panel, it took me a couple minutes, and it did take me a couple of different hammers, including a shrinking hammer and a set of my dolly blocks to get the panel straightened out. You'll see what it looks like here in a minute. We're going to fast forward to me cutting the old quarter patch panel off of the Jeep with a cutoff wheel. Before I got started, I went around the quarter panel on the Jeep with some orange tape, just a little guide for where I wanted to cut, just to start, and then, I could always cut off more. Less is more in this case. So here I am chipping away at it, and then all of a sudden, raw. Again?
Hey there, Delilah, where'd you get those big titties? I live 1,000 miles away, but tonight I'm in your city. Yes, I am.
Shut up!
Oh, just freestyle that, bro.
Dude.
Alright, well, now what?
Alright, first.
Tool.
Do we have any tools that are on?
No, I just turned off the DX in case, bro.
Just when I'm getting in the groove.
Oh, that's why it happened,
Bro.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
After we went inside and met up with the fuse box, I was able to continue cutting out the quarter panel. While I'm cutting away with this buttery smooth tool, it's worth mentioning that this tool is a corded cutoff tool that I got from Harbor Freight 2 years ago, and no matter the cutoff disc that I use, this tool impresses me every time. Power delivery is smooth and ready to tackle anything you throw at it. The current cutoff disc I'm using here is from 3M. It's called the Cubitron 2 cutoff disc. After cutting out my outlined section on the quarter panel, I made one cut on the bottom of each side so I can continue to remove and take this cut all the way to the bottom. Next, to get the material on the bottom, I took my CP715 air hammer and finished off the job. This is kind of crazy. After removing all of the old quarter patch panel, it was time to tackle the rust that was discovered. I grabbed my Milwaukee grinder and a disc and got to work. Tackling rust is always kind of fun work to me. It's fun because it's always a challenge. It's a challenge getting rid of rust. Technically, rust is sort of like cancer. It has to be cut out and replaced. But for this, I'm trying to save the metal as best as I can. So for now, just starting out, I'm going to clean it up the best I can. I might have to replace it. We'll see how thin this metal is by the time I'm done working with it. So let's get to work. While I had my Milwaukee grinder in hand, I decided to take it a step further, and I'll admit I got a little bit sidetracked, went off course. I decided to take the grinder to some old filler and get rid of it, and I eventually found myself making my way down the dog leg and found out that this dog leg is packed with filler. Someone did some old body work to this thing, and they did it the wrong way. As you can see, there are 3-4 holes in this dog leg. The metal was pulled, and they just filled the holes with filler. How gross. I'm glad I did this and exposed what was underneath that aging paint. Man, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Okay, getting back on track here. To finish out the rust removal with my Milwaukee grinder, I hopped to the bottom of the quarter and worked my way up to the wheel well area. By that point, it was time to wrap things up for that day. Oh, by the way, before we move on, it's worth mentioning that these grinder discs that I got for my Milwaukee grinder, I got these from Harbor Freight as a 3-pack, and they are the Hercules brand. I found that these work really great, and they're worth the price. If you have a Harbor Freight near you and you need some of these grinding discs, these are definitely worth the price. Today, I'm going to do a little sandblasting, and first, we're going to unbox this little hood that I got from Harbor Freight. Wow, this thing is green. All right.
Wow, look at that. Oh man. This is great.
This is great. So in the box, you get the hood itself, and they give you 2 shields. And the shields do have some plastic wrap on it. But other than that, there's nothing else in the box. No instructions, nothing. So let's peel this off. Pretty self-explanatory. Pretty cool. Just slide this in here. This is too legit, bro. This thing is awesome. How well can you hear me right now? Pretty comfortable. Easy to breathe in. Some nice cushioning, lots of room inside. A little hole right here. Got a little hole right here for ventilation. get the show on the road, shall we? A couple weeks ago, I picked up this Sandblaster from Harbor Freight. It's a 50-pound capacity sandblaster. I haven't gotten the chance to use it, and as you can tell, it's been sitting around collecting dust. So today's the day that we're gonna put this baby to the test up against my 86 Grand Wagoneer project. While I was at Harbor Freight, I went ahead and bought this oil water filter separator just to keep the sand coming out nice and dry. We're also gonna see how this does along with the sandblaster. So let's get started. While it may be a little bit difficult to tell on camera whether or not this sandblaster works, overall I am very impressed with how this thing performs. It does take a little bit of time. It makes a lot of noise with whatever air compressor you have hooked up to it, but it does get the job done. And also, it makes a mess. It makes a huge mess. So what I did before I started sandblasting was I laid a tarp down and kind of put the tarp up and over as many components as I could to keep the sand from flying everywhere. And then afterwards, the cleanup was nice and simple. I took the tarp and I poured all the sand into a bucket. And then before I can reuse this sand, because I guess from the research I've done, you can reuse this sand, or as some people call it, media. Before you reuse it, you can pour it through a filter or a strainer of some sort and reuse it for the next time go around. So that's pretty cool. Here's a quick screenshot of the strainer that I got from eBay for $6. Got my area all cleaned up here. Next, I was looking at this area down here with all the major pitting. It doesn't really look all that great. This would kind of be a difficult piece to form, to make. I think we're just gonna clean it up the best I can. I got a cutoff wheel here. I'm going to get in all of the pits with this cutoff wheel, do my best to try and clean it up. And then we'll see what's going on from there. But first, earlier this morning while I was at work, I can't even talk right now. I was looking for an app where you can modify your own vehicle. I'm trying Chat GPT, and we'll have to see if it works. I told Chat GPT to change the color to a blue-gray and add fender flares. I'm uploading the image right now. Come on, baby, come on. I hope this works. Come on, don't let me down. It's thinking. It's got the little dot spinning right there. Ah! Network error occurred. Oh, it worked? Oh, it worked. It worked. It worked. Oh my gosh, my months of searching could be over. I don't know why I didn't think of this in the first place. If it works. Come on, bro. Gotta hold it up for that signal. I went inside where the Wi-Fi was better. Started off with this image here. And look at these beauties here. Not bad. Not bad here. Like the color. The wheels are very weird. Very odd. Getting better. I like the bronze wheels that I added. A little bit darker here. And check out this bad boy. Bronze bullet hole style wheels, some nice tires. I didn't tell him to add the wood grain, but it doesn't look bad at all. I would have done the chrome blacked out, put a foot ornament. That is super sick. Light off. I think I got it looking a little bit better here with the grinder, or the cutoff wheel, excuse me. got some of the sandblasting done. It's time to fire up the welder and dust off this nasty helmet. And we're gonna fill 2 holes over here. Fill this one right here. This one right here. The metal's not in great shape. It's very thin. I mean, you saw it, it was rusting pretty bad over here. So I'm gonna do my best to fill this in here.